Hi there, Mrs. Burbridge here. This is Colourful Semantics video 3. Today's video is going to be a reminder of how to use Colourful Semantics to do who, what doing, what, where, and today we're going to extend on to when. This might be used for children who are more confident with sentence structures or for older children to use varied sentences. So I'm going to start back by just reminding us how to use the first few and then we will go on to the next part. So as I showed you before, we often start with a picture and we have our folder or baskets full of different options for our different word types. So it's really useful to have some of these ready, or you can make some of your own. So I had a look in the picture and I got my Colourful Semantics strip and I thought about what I could see in the picture. And for this instance, I'm going to focus on the dog. So our who is the dog. And it has a capital letter at the start because it's our who, that's how we're starting our sentence. So the dog, what is the dog doing? Well, the dog is licking. The dog is licking. And then we're thinking about what. What is the dog licking? So I've used the mat, you might use the carpet. The dog is licking the mat. So that's the start of our simple sentence there. You could stop there if that's where children are confident to end, but as an extension, you could use where. So where are they? Where is the dog? I think they're in the kitchen because I can see some kitchen cabinets. So the dog is licking the mat in the kitchen. This is how we use our Colourful Semantics cards to do the who, doing, what, and where. And this is something that we did before. As I mentioned in my last video, you could use Colourful Semantics cards for any topic, unit or book that you are covering. So you could tailor them to be specific to the characters and events and settings that happen in your text that you're looking at. So that's just one example of doing our who, what doing, what and where. And when we're writing the sentence out, we would go back to our little key here and we'd say, look at the picture and what can we see? Say the sentence aloud. Count the words in the sentence, write the sentence, checking the capital letters and full stops, and then read through our sentence and count the words again to make sure that we have included all of them. This just helps children to proofread their work and check it's making sense. So then we move on to looking at our where and when in a bit more detail. So in front of me this time, I've got a couple of packs of word banks, and I would maybe give these to the child and say to them, you're going to use these to help you to create your own sentence about the book. I would make sure that I was prepared and that I knew that the cards I had ready were able to be used and were relevant to the picture or story. So I'm looking at this picture here. So I can see the man, you might have the men, but in this case, I'm going to use the man. So we have our the man. So I can get rid of my who cards now as I've got my who, and I'm going to think, what is he doing? Well, he is riding. The man is riding. What is he riding? Now on here, I would look, is he riding a balloon? No, that's not a logical sentence. So we take that back and we'd read through a bike. You could say a motorbike or a bike. The man is riding a bike. We've got the key components to our sentence there, who, what doing and what. Now we might want to think about our blue cards, our where. Where is he doing this? And you could give the children options for this. You could have outside, in the desert, on the sand dunes. So you could choose a where that is most appropriate to the picture that you're showing. In this instance, I might say in the desert. The reason that I haven't done a where here is because we might want to do a when. So for this picture, we might think about the when. So I'm not using the where for now, I'm thinking about the when. So when was this happening? This was happening after the boy stole the camel, in the daytime, at night time. I've picked one for now, at sunrise. This is just one example. It might not be the best example, but it's an example of when it could be happening. So you might have a bank of these when cards in your folder like you had for the others and children could choose, or you could let them think about the different options it could be. Having pictures though, even without the words, will be really helpful as a prompt to the children. So I'd look at that again. The man is riding a bike at sunrise. You could add a where in too if you wanted to extend the sentence. The man is riding a bike in the desert at sunrise, full stop. So there you have where and when adverbs. These are adverbs here. So these can be tailored, as I said before, to the book. They can be tailored using pictures, prompts, images from the text you've got, or they could be word banks that the children create, like I showed you in video 2, where they create their own who, what, doing, what, where and when, and then they can kind of change the structure of the sentences. These sentences do not always have to be in this way. You could move things around. So you could say, at sunrise, the man is riding a bike. We would usually say for this kind of sentence, if we're saying at sunrise, we might say was. At sunrise, the man was riding a bike in the desert. Okay, so you can definitely vary that. That would now be a fronted adverbial, and that's part of some of the key stage 2 curriculum expectations. So you've taken your when and you've put it to the front. Again, you could do the same for the where. In the desert, the man is riding a bike. You've moved your adverb and you've put it at the front, so it's a fronted adverbial. So that's just one example. Then you might want to put the cards away. This is where children are much more confident, still have the strip so that they can remember what they need to include, and maybe show them another picture or a section of a text. I'm going to show you the picture now, and then I'm going to show you how we're going to write it. So I'm not looking at any of the text from this. I'm just looking at the picture. So who have we got? Well, we've got the Queen. The Queen. What is she doing? She's watching. So the Queen is watching. What is she watching? The Queen is watching the television. So we've got our who, what doing, and what. Now we can think about where. Where is the Queen? I think she's in her living room. The Queen is watching the television in her living room. When? So I've just picked a few cards here. At playtime? No, I don't think that one works. On their birthday? Not sure that one works. In the evening? I think that might work. Let's try and read it again. The Queen is watching the television in her living room in the evening. So I have got my sentence there using my who, doing, what, where and when. Again, you might want to change where you put your adverbs and vary the structure of the sentences. We encourage children to make sure that they are structuring sentences in different ways so that they don't always start with the who. But this is just building up from what they've done. So I'm going to use this and my key here to write the sentence. So I've looked at my picture and I've said it aloud. The Queen is watching the television in her living room in the evening. It's a really long sentence, so I might actually just say, for now, let's focus on our brown, but not our blue. The Queen is watching the television in the evening. So I've said it. The Queen is watching the television in the evening. So that's 9 words. So I'm going to write it out. I need to remind myself to use capital letter and full stop. The Queen is watching the television in the evening. And again, you might want to change it round. In the evening, the Queen is or was watching the television. So let children have a play with these cards, decide if they want to use both a where and when adverb. They might want to use a how, so quietly or interestingly, and then they can move the words around to see how they want them to fit. But to start off with, you work through the who, what doing, what, and build on from there. So hopefully your children now will be able to have a better understanding of how to use our different colourful semantics cards to construct varied sentences.